At the beginning of this year, I got a Kindle Paperwhite, and it's been my entire personality since then. And I've made a ton of videos about it for you guys, but you seem to enjoy it. So today I'm going to be covering everything about my Kindle and what is on my Kindle. So let's start off with the basics. This is the 11th gen Kindle Paperwhite. I recently did post like a comparison between the 10th gen and the 11th gen Kindle Paperwhite. If you want to check that out, I'll have it linked in the up top. And I also did a whole unboxing on it if you want to check that out as well. But yeah, this is the Kindle Paperwhite 11th gen. I absolutely love it. It's the one that has the adjustable warm light. So basically at night when you're reading, you can make it a lot more orange. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So this is more orange, and then you can lower it to be more white. So that is one of the top features, I think, of the 11th gen. Then you have the bigger screen, the USB-C charging, all of that. But yeah, I absolutely love using my Kindle. I read a bit on it like almost every night, and it's just so convenient. I always had Kindle on my phone, so it's not something entirely new to me. I always read on my iPhone, just Kindle books. But yeah, with the Kindle, it really just is a whole different experience. A lot of times I just wouldn't want to read. You look at it every single day, or you just end up doing something else, like going on TikTok or something. So a lot of times I would just avoid reading because of that reason. But since I got the Kindle, it's really just upped the amount of time I spend reading, and it's so nice. So it's a dedicated device just for reading, and it's so nice at night. You can read easily without having to have a light on or anything. Very convenient. I also recently did post a short about unboxing on the case I got. This is just a plain charcoal case, nothing cute or anything, but it does the job well. It has like the book format, so it automatically locks your device when it closes and unlocks it when it opens, or takes it off sleep mode, I guess. And then yeah, it protects the screen as well, which is really nice. Like I said, it's not cute or anything. I love to have something more cute, but there just weren't a bunch of options, especially here in South Africa. So that is that. As for the settings on my Kindle, so first off, I just wanted to cover a few things. So I did buy the one that has ads on it. It wasn't ad free. I didn't know that at the time though. But then someone commented on one of my videos telling me that you can just contact customer service at Amazon and tell them you want the ads removed, and sometimes if you're lucky they'll do it for free. Otherwise it costs $20 to remove. So that was really nice, and I did that for my Kindle and my mom's Kindle, and they gave it for free, which is really nice. So yeah, now you have like the book cover on your Kindle, so it's not just a ad of Amazon on there. And also you can either have the cover turned on. You have to turn it on in settings. So you go to settings and then go to device options, and there display cover will be an option if you don't have ads on your device. So you can either do that, or you can have it turned on, off, and have Kindle's photos on there. There are a few cool ones. So sometimes I will have like the display cover off and just show the Kindle photos, but yeah, most of the times I just have my book cover on there. I also do have Kindle Unlimited. I really think that if you have a Kindle, it's really worth getting Kindle Unlimited. They have some very popular books that are just on there. I wouldn't say for free, because I mean you pay for Kindle Unlimited, but I mean the amount of books you get for free is insane. So I really recommend getting Kindle Unlimited as well. It's super nice, highly recommend it. If you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is though, it is where you get a collection of books that are available on the Kindle store when you pay the subscription. So you get all these books basically for free because you pay the subscription. They have like thousands of books, and a lot of them are very popular books that sometimes they get books that are come on there and then it's off again. So you just really have to see what they have available that month or those few months. And then sometimes you just get new books added, very popular books I found. So I really just recommend checking it out. It's only like $9 a month. Yeah, it's $9 a month, but you get a free trial as well for like a month, so you can see if it's worth it or not for you. And also you have a lot of times when they have deals, so sometimes I would just cancel my subscription if I wasn't really using it, and then when I come back they have like a deal that's like 50% off on your subscription for 3 months or something, which is really nice, which I actually got now when I activated it again. So yeah, I really recommend checking out Kindle Unlimited. It's really cool. But okay, let's go ahead and cover my Kindle and what's on here and how I kind of have it set up. So you can see this is what my Kindle looks like. I actually just took screenshots of my Kindle. If you don't know how to do that, you basically just press the corners. So 2 corners with 2 fingers, and then it will like make a flash on your screen, and then with taking a screenshot you just get access to it by going on your computer. So that's really nice if you want to screenshot like a page or something. But yeah, so this is my library slash homepage. So you have your library section and then just have Kindle Unlimited recommendations or just recommendations from Kindle. But I'm gonna go into my library right now, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is the first page in my library. As you can see, I am currently reading Things We Never Got Over, but I'm actually on the second book, so that's Things We Hide from the Light. I actually really enjoyed it. It's kind of like a small town romance type deal. It's not like my absolute favorite series ever, but it's a nice read, and I know the third one is coming out and I'm really interested in seeing that couple's story. But so far it's been a nice read. So yeah, I'm currently in 5% into Things We Hide from the Light. Really cool book. Yeah, and I love the covers of these books though. I'm also very much struggling through The Hobbit. I want to read it so badly because I actually like the movies, and also just like it's funny so far, well, just what I've read, and it's not really that hard to read. I was expecting it because it's kind of like a classic for it to be very hard to read, but it's actually really easy. But I really need to just get into it. I have to like commit and just sit through it, because I've been going to a book and then I come back to this one, but I always fall asleep when I'm reading this book. Also, if you want to know the settings that I have going on here, so I'm just gonna go to settings here. I have my theme set to just customize, and it's just the current theme. The font I have set to Bookerly. I just really like serif font, so that's why I set that. It is 1x bold. And then my text size is 6, but I mean, depending on how I feel, sometimes I change it. It's really easy to quickly change the text size. You just zoom with 2 fingers on your screen and then it changes it. So that's that. Then for layout, I have the regular orientation. Margins are very thin, and then alignment centered, and then the spacing is in the middle. And then for the more section, I actually have my read in progress. It's actually supposed to be just like the page in book. I usually prefer that. Then we have show clock while reading. I just like seeing the time, especially if I'm reading at night and I'm seeing, oh, I'm kind of overstepping my amount of time I plan on reading. It's just nice to have that. Then I also have this page turn animation on. So if you don't know, this is something they added with the 11th gen Kindle. It's not available on the ones before that, but it's a page turn animation that just makes it kind of like a page turn animation when you're reading. So that was really cool. But yeah, that's The Hobbit. I would really love to like read the whole Lord of the Rings series, hopefully this year. I have set like a goal of reading like 30 books this year. We'll see how it goes, because I've only read like 3 books or something, 4 books since the beginning of this year, so we'll see how that goes. Then we have In a Jam, which I haven't read yet, but I am interested in reading. It's also Kindle Unlimited. I've heard good things about it, but I'm just not sure yet, so I want to read that really badly. And then The Housemaid, I'm really excited to read that. I know it's like a thriller of this woman who moves into a house. She needs a job, so she's a housemaid for this wife and husband, and they're very rich, but the wife is kind of like off and weird, and sometimes she's nice, sometimes she's mean. And I also know that like her room is like in the attic, the housemaid, and it's just like a whole thriller about her in this house, and that she's kind of looking after their kid. And I know there's some subplot of romance, I think, between the maid and the husband. I'm not sure, but it just seems really intriguing to me, and I know Frida McFadden is a very good writer, so I'm really excited to read that. Here we have the co-op. So I have no idea what this is about. I just got the sample of it. It just looked cool. I think the cover just looked cool to me. Then we have Caraval. So I really need to get to Once Upon a Broken Heart. I read like 3% in, and I was like, no, I need to finish the Caraval series, because I know the main guy character in Once Upon a Broken Heart is a big, almost like villain or something in the Caraval series. So I really need to read it, because I didn't really enjoy Caraval. I gave it like 3 stars, and then I tried to read Legendary, but I just couldn't get into it. But now, when I actually want to finish the series, I just haven't yet. So I need to finish the Caraval series, and then I'll go to Once Upon a Broken Heart, because I got Once Upon a Broken Heart on a really good deal in the Kindle bookstore. So yeah, now I'm just waiting to finish the other series. But I'm really excited because I really want to read that book. I've heard so many great things about it. Then we have Fable, which is another book that I've just been struggling getting through. Then we have Powerless, which is written by Lauren Roberts. She is someone I've been following on TikTok for a while, and I knew she was coming out with this book. I just haven't bought it yet, but I really want to read it because it sounds really good. So that is that book. Then The Perfect Marriage I read recently, and this book is about a husband who is accused of murdering his mistress, like the woman he cheated on with his wife, and his wife needs to defend him in court. So it was really interesting. I liked it. I was on my toes the entire time, really didn't know what was going on. And then it just kind of ended. I don't really know how I feel about the ending. It felt kind of like a cop-out, kind of like, I didn't expect it. I didn't like guess it, but it wasn't really, didn't give what I was wanting it to give, the ending. But it was a good book nonetheless. Then we just have an audiobook here, which I didn't buy it. I just was looking into like this audio Bible because it's a really good audio Bible. I don't have it actually. Then we have Dance of Thieves. Now this series I read, I absolutely loved it. I have the physical books as well. It's like enemies to lovers, really good enemies to lovers. Is it fantasy? I don't really know what to call it. Let's just say it's fantasy, but it's so good. I absolutely loved it. One of my favorite series of all time. So highly recommend if you're looking for a good enemies to lovers type series. Highly recommend it. Then we have Kiss of Deception, which I haven't actually read yet, but it's the same author as the Dance of Thieves duology. Then we have The Fellowship of the King, which is just Lord of the Rings, which I said I want to read. Then we have The Cheat Sheet, which was a cute contemporary romance. I really liked it, and it's a very sweet, wholesome romance, so I like that. Then we have The Inheritance Games, which I think everybody has heard of and knows about, and everybody loves it. I, however, struggled to the book. I don't know if it was because my expectations were so high because everybody hypes it up a lot. It wasn't bad or anything. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be. And I didn't love any of the characters. That's the thing, that's the problem. So I still want to continue with the series at some point, but it hasn't intrigued me as much that I want to really continue the series. But hopefully I will get to that soon. Next up, we have The Love Hypothesis. This book was very popular like a few years back, like a year ago, 2 years ago. I enjoyed it. I think the hype was a lot. So again, I have very much trouble, like when a book's very overhyped, I get high expectations and usually it's like, but yeah, Love Hypothesis was a cute like romance, kind of like a enemies to lover fake dating trope, so it was really good though. Then we have It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I read It Ends With Us. I have the physical copy. And then I read It Starts With Us, which was really cute. I don't feel like it was necessary, but it was a nice like ending to the story. I really liked it. Then we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which I haven't read, which I feel like very ashamed of saying because I feel like everyone has read that book, but I'm really interested in reading it also, but I just haven't. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager I read. I didn't enjoy it that much, but it was still a very good, intriguing read. I just feel like I didn't like the plot twist a lot, like the main plot twist, but it was still a good thriller, I have to say, and I really liked the vibes of it and all. The Guest List I absolutely loved. It was such a good thriller. I liked having everyone's point of views. I won't say like the ending shocked me tremendously, or no, maybe it did, but it was a really good thriller book. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, which was another very cute romance. I absolutely loved it. I feel like all of it, the vibes were just there, and it's very much like a rom-com. They have quotes of a rom-com at the beginning of every chapter, and I've watched like every single rom-com, so I loved that book. I read it when it was available on Kindle Unlimited, so such a good book. Highly recommend you read it. I'm gonna skip some of these samples because I'm not gonna go through all of them. Then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty series. It was good, but I feel like maybe if I was younger, I would have enjoyed it more. The last book just was, I don't know how I felt about it because it just felt so, like the characters behaved so differently from the rest of the series. So it was interesting, but yeah, it's a good series nonetheless. And yeah, it's really just cute, and I like the show as well. Then we have The Wrath in the Dawn, which is a series that's not very memorable to me. I think it was a good like enemies to lovers series. Didn't love it, but it wasn't like bad or anything. But yeah, that's that series. Then we have The Temporary Roommate and then Off Limits Rule. I think The Temporary Roomie I did not read, but I did read the Off Limits Rule again when it was available on Kindle Unlimited. It was really cute, and I just like Sarah Adams's books because they're very cute and quick, and yeah, just a ball full of fuzz kind of romance. I really liked it. Then we have Defy the Night by Bridget Kimmerer. This book I have to still read the sequel of. I absolutely loved it. It's a good fantasy, kind of like enemies to lovers. Very cool book. I highly recommend it. So yeah, I still need to read the sequel for that. Then we have The Hunger Games. I was obsessed with The Hunger Games for like a solid few months. I watched the movies and then I had to read the books, which I know was kind of like wrong order, but loved the movies, loved the books. I think like most people like The Hunger Games. It's a very popular franchise, but I really, really liked it. So highly recommend that as well. Okay, I need to start speed reading through these. Okay, so again, we're skipping the samples, but we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is an entire series. This series, I love the first book. Felt off about the second book. Third book was pretty good, how it ended. But overall, it was a good series. I think the reason I have such a negative feeling towards these books whenever I think about them is I had COVID when reading the other two books, the last two books in this series. And every time I think about it, I was just so nauseous when reading these books. I just didn't feel good. So the whole series just doesn't have a good feeling to me just because of that reason solely. So yeah, just make of that information what you will. Then we have the Ember and the Ashes series. I've never finished it, but it was a really good 2 books that I read. I enjoyed it, and I liked the kind of world that we were in, so I recommend it. It is a fantasy type series. I can't exactly remember what it's about, but I remember it being good, so I highly recommend you check that out. Then the Shatter Me series. I enjoyed this series very much. I mostly read like the first 4 books. I read 4 books. But I never continued. I'd still want to continue, but I felt like the first 3 books were pretty good, so I just stopped there. And then the 4th book I already got. But yeah, it's a good series. I love the world, the dystopian world that they created, the author created. Really good. I highly recommend that book to anyone. It's a YA dystopian novel, fantasy, romance read, so very good. Then we have The Bad Boy and the Tomboy. Now, I wouldn't say this book is like good, like a great piece of literature or anything, but it was a book that I remember reading on Wattpad when I was like younger, and it was a good book. I remember some scenes that like really hit me in the heart when I was like 13, but they removed those scenes in the published version, so yeah, it was still like, it's a cute book, it's a cute romance, but that is that. Then we have November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I think everybody knows about this book. I actually really enjoyed it. It broke my heart at a few points, but it was a really good book though. So I really love November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Then the last book we have on here is The Unhoneymooners, which is a romance where it's kind of like an enemies to lovers deal. They're at a wedding, everyone gets food poisoning, they're the best man and the bridesmaid, and they go on the honeymoon that the couple at the wedding were supposed to go on, and they have to kind of like fake date. It was good when I first read it. I did, however, reread it at some point, and it's not as good as I remembered it. I think the guy just kind of like was kind of a jerk, but it was a cute book, however, so if you're looking for a cute like fake dating trope kind of book, it's a good one. I still recommend it. Now I am out of breath. So yeah, that is everything that's on my Kindle, all my books. I know I don't actually have a lot of books. I think compared to other people, I have quite a little amount of Kindle books on here, but that was all the books that I do have. Mostly I read Kindle Unlimited books, so I guess that's also why I sometimes just return the book so it's not on there. But for now, one thing I did learn out of this video is I really need to clear the samples because I have so many useless samples on there. But that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you got some book recommendations. Let me know if you have any other videos you'd like to see about the Kindle from me, and I will do them. because like I said, I'm kind of obsessed. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!